Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we're zeroing in on something absolutely massive in the blockchain space. We're talking about the sheer, mind-boggling scale of a revolutionary intelligence network known as Codatta. If you've ever found yourself wondering exactly how the Wild West of Web3 is actually being mapped out, categorized, and most importantly, secured, well, you're absolutely in the right place. Let's just jump right in.
So let's kick things off with a number that's, honestly, pretty hard to wrap your head around. 560 million. Just try to picture what 500 million of literally anything looks like. In the vast, sprawling, and let's face it, highly anonymous landscape of crypto, just keeping tabs on a few thousand entities is a massive headache. But 560 million? Tracking that requires an infrastructure that's almost incomprehensible in scale. This isn't just some big, flashy number, guys. This is the actual heartbeat of the entire intelligence network we're breaking down today.
Section 1. What is Codatta? The community-driven network.
Now, I want you to pay really close attention to the specific wording used to define Codatta here. It's officially described as a community-driven blockchain intelligence network and production-grade database. Do you see the contrast there? On one hand, you have community-driven, right? That implies open collaboration, crowdsourcing, a truly decentralized effort. But on the flip side, you have a production-grade database. And we all know that means serious, rigorous, enterprise-level reliability. You know, it's incredibly rare to see something built organically by a growing community that actually hits those strict, uncompromising standards of a production-grade system. But that dual nature, that is exactly what makes Codatta such a game-changer.
Moving right along to Section 2, Intelligence by the Numbers, and the massive scale of data.
When we look at the actual technical breadth of this database, we are definitely not just talking about a single isolated ledger. This infrastructure supports over 10 different blockchains and operates across 35 different networks. So Codatta isn't siloed off. It's casting a massive, wide-reaching net across the whole fragmented crypto ecosystem. And it doesn't stop there. It organizes all this sprawling data into 95 distinct categories. So we aren't just looking at a giant, messy list of random addresses. The data is highly categorized, filtering all that raw on-chain noise into 95 highly specific, actionable buckets of intelligence.
Which actually brings us right back to our crazy hook number 560 million. But now, with the context of those networks and categories, we can really pin down what this number actually represents. This database houses 560 million labeled addresses and 560 million annotations. And think about what an annotation really is for a second. It's essentially human or programmatic context applied to an otherwise completely anonymous string of code. An address on the blockchain tells you next to nothing on its own, right? It's the label, the annotation, that magically transforms raw blockchain data into actual, usable intelligence. And Codatta has quietly accumulated over 500 million of them. Insane!
Which takes us to Section 3, Mapping High-Risk Activity and Identifying Threats.
So why go through the monumental effort of cataloging 500 million data points? Well, it's absolutely crucial for network safety. Out of those 560 million total labeled addresses, we have a very specific, very dangerous slice: 46 million high-risk addresses. Think about how that distinct group compares to the 514 million other labeled addresses out there. The vast majority of the network falls into those everyday categories we mentioned: standard smart contracts, known exchanges, regular transactions. But that distinct segment representing the high-risk addresses, that right there is the minefield.
Let's pull that number out and really give it the weight it deserves. 46 million high-risk addresses identified. By explicitly isolating these 46 million addresses, Codatta is essentially providing a massive map of potential threats. This isn't just dry data, it's a literal defensive shield. Every single one of those 46 million flagged addresses represents a potential scam, a hack, some illicit activity, or a compromised entity. And because they've been clearly mapped out, everyday users and massive institutions alike can now successfully steer clear of them.
Let's shift gears to Section 4, the collaborative engine, or who actually builds the database.
You know, an intelligence network of this magnitude doesn't just magically appear out of thin air. We really need to humanize these immense statistics. This database is actively built by a rapidly growing community that completely bridges the gap between top organizations and individual members. You have massive, heavyweight institutions working right side by side with passionate, everyday contributors. It totally democratizes blockchain intelligence. It proves that securing the blockchain isn't solely the responsibility of a few massive tech firms, you know? It's a shared burden and, honestly, a shared achievement.
But that begs the question, how do these completely disparate groups actually work together in practice? Well, they need specific, secure channels to actually submit their contributions. The source material highlights two key avenues making all this possible: the Crypto Defenders Alliance, which is a major industry coalition, and the Microscope Protocol, which serves as a standardized technical pipeline. Members contribute through these specific alliances and protocols, which act as the vital funnels for the whole operation. They take all that crowdsourced knowledge from both massive organizations and solo individuals, and they neatly organize it into that production-grade database we were talking about earlier.
And the whole shebang really culminates in this core mission statement. Whether it's an individual contributing via the Microscope Protocol or a massive firm sitting in the Crypto Defenders Alliance, they are all helping to build open, high-quality crypto address data. Now, I want to highlight that word open. It's absolutely vital here. This isn't some walled garden where the intelligence is hoarded by a single corporation and then sold off to the highest bidder. It's open, it's high quality, and it's shared for the benefit of the entire ecosystem. That is the unifying goal behind every single one of those 560 million annotations.
Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. As this database inevitably grows way beyond 560 million, and as more organizations and individuals join the ranks, how will community collaboration continue to shape the safety of the blockchain ecosystem? I mean, if 500 million data points is what the community can achieve right now, just imagine the impenetrable web of safety they're going to weave in the future. It's an incredible prospect, and it really goes to show that the most powerful tool in tech isn't just the code itself, it's the community behind it. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer today. Keep questioning, keep learning, and as always, stay curious.